My name is Charlie Banks, and I'm a 17-year-old kid who started the Young Minds Podcast to spread the word of God. It is my goal to do this podcast. You learn, you laugh, you cry, whatever it may be. I just hope that you enjoy it and maybe grow in your relationship with Christ. But just remember, this thing that the Lord is starting is way bigger than any of us. So let's get after it. All right, welcome to the podcast, man. It is so great to have you on, and I just can't wait to hear what you have to say. So I'm just introduce yourself, and then we'll just go right on.
Well, thank you for having me, Charlie. My name is Noah Jenkins, and I'm from Lakeland, Georgia, about 30 minutes from Valdosta. I'm going into my sophomore year at Valdosta State University, and this is going on. So August of this year will make 2 years that I've been at Northside. So.
Wow, 2 years. I've been here for a year, so I mean, we've not been too far from each other. No. Yeah. But I mean, I'll tell you one thing: we've met a lot of fun people, haven't we?
Oh, that is for sure.
Like one that we were talking to just a few minutes ago,
right.
Daniel.
Yes.
You know, great guy.
Awesome.
And great coworker now, which that's still so crazy that I get to call him a coworker and Pastor Jeff. Just like what?
You're working at one of the best places.
I know, like I get to call them coworkers.
Right.
You know, I mean, 'cause they don't feel like bosses. They, I said that in my post that I made. It's like. This does not feel like a quote-unquote job,
right.
Because I know it is, but, like, it don't feel like it, because I'm having fun.
One of the best jobs on the planet.
Facts. So if you could go in and tell a little bit about your testimony, you can tell as much of it as you want, comfortable with, you can jump right into that.
Okay, well, let's get to it.
Yep.
So, my personal testimony started, so I was saved on August 25th in 2021, during a crusade that Northside was having, that week, and, before I got saved, I used to do a lot of, I don't want to say crazy things, but I used to do things I shouldn't have done, say things I shouldn't have done, hung around people I shouldn't have hung around, and I was heading down a wrong path. And I've always grown up in church my entire life. I went to church on Sundays and Wednesdays. I knew Bible verses, stories in the Bible. But the one thing about it was that I didn't know God in my heart truly. I just, went to church. And I was walking into school on a Friday morning, and I was running late as normal.
Daniel was telling me about that. He was like, yeah.
So I was running from the student parking lot with my car parked half in my parking lot.
Oh no.
In my parking spot.
Yeah.
And my friend Lily Lyons, she gave me a crusade invitation, and she was like, "You should come." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll think about it." And it kept weighing on me. And then that next day, 2 days later, that Sunday, I came. And I had never been in a church where so many people that you don't know make you feel welcome.
I know, it's just great, isn't it? And I've said that many times, and I know you've listened and you've heard me say that, but it's true. So many people.
Like, that's something that you can't ever relate to. That, like, I've never been to a church like Northside before. So I came and I liked it, and I remember Daniel Holcomb showing me to the Sunday school class. And I think Noah B was teaching that Sunday morning because Mr. Jason was out of town or something like that. And I had never been to like an all-guys Sunday school class, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. Mm-hmm. So after that, I came back each night. And that Wednesday that changed everything, Daniel Holcomb, there was a video of his testimony up there. And he said something that really resonated with me, and that was that he knew about God, but he never knew Him truly in his heart until he had gotten saved, and that really resonated with me because I'd ask myself, do I truly know God for myself?
Right.
If I died today, where am I going? So that thought pondered on me, and that night Rick Korn was preaching, and I love whenever he preaches. So he preached, and that night I could have never imagined giving my life to Christ, and I did. And it was the best decision that I ever made. And his video definitely played a big part in me being saved. And that following Sunday, I was baptized by Pastor Josh Foster. And since then, I'm just amazed at the work that God is doing in my life. I'm thankful for Him. He's blessed me to be a part of an amazing church. He's blessed me with best friends anyone could ever have. What else? So one thing that I like to tell people is that, I was once a lost person who didn't know God and didn't know where I was going once I died, but now I'm a new creation in Christ and will one day spend eternity with Him. Mm-hmm. And one thing I like to leave people with is that one invite to church can change a person's life.
It can. And, that's one thing that, we'll know by the time this comes out. But I've invited somebody to come to Wednesday night, like it was last week. Right. Something happened and, like, their car broke down or something, whatever, so they couldn't come. And then, of course, yesterday, it was canceled, And see, both of those times, I wouldn't have been there the entire time because I had interviews.
Right.
Next week, I'll be there the entire time. So something tells me I need to be there the entire time for them. Right. So I'm like, one, they better show up. For sure. Two, I'm going to be there the entire time. So what's the Lord fixing to do? Right. I'm excited to see what's fixing to happen.
He works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And when you're inviting somebody, just keep trying. Like don't bug them, but just keep trying.
I've always been told that if you keep inviting someone and they don't come, eventually they will come because they'll get tired of you asking. So eventually they will come. So just keep asking.
Yeah, and plus I'm like, for me, it's like I'd be curious. I'd be like, what you talking about? Like if you keep talking about it, then what goes on?
It has to be good, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. So we kind of talked about it a little bit, but like let's rephrase the question a little bit. So if you had to come up with one word of what Northside means to you, what would it be?
That's a tough one.
Yeah. I'd say home for me, like on Earth.
I would say home. That's a good one. Home or friendly. I would say both, but home mostly.
Yeah, because I was telling Daniel this, since working here, my mind's just been it's not thinking weird things that shouldn't be, whatever. Because that can happen, with temptation and things like that. It just doesn't happen because my brain's too happy because I'm I've got this opportunity right in front of me, and I'm so happy about it. And wanting to tell people all the time, say, look, I am getting to work in the best place ever, and out of all the youth that are here, which there's a bunch of them, the Lord chose me to be put in that position. Right. So it's just great, and for me, it's definitely home. And I know my mom, we've talked about with Pastor Robbie and Miss Laura, we've said, they kind of, for us, they represent just hope. You can see it radiate off of them. And just about every single person here, Pastor Jeff, Noah, Daniel, everybody, you can just see it. And they work as a well-oiled machine, which I've seen, for this past week, and beyond. I've seen it just you can just see it, especially the inner workings, which is crazy.
I was talking to your mom, I think it was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were in the gym. And she was telling me that you were, that once school was out, that you were going to start interning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he's going to be interning at one of the best places in this city. Literally.
And under, the best people.
Under the best people.
And especially Noah. Right. I love being taught by him. He, what's crazy to me, is, he was in a senior when I was a freshman in high school. So we were in school the same time. But yet, he's teaching me now, which that's just, and we didn't even know each other then, So it's just crazy what a few years can make, no difference.
I would definitely say that since his new transition, because I knew him almost probably a good year since before his transition, and now I like telling my people, I was like, my friend is a pastor at Northside.
Yeah,
so
it's so cool.
Yeah.
And now because Will is and Noah is and now Will's married.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about that when I interview him. Just it's crazy and it's so cool to just see, right?
Yes, for sure.
You're watching. You're doing life with people, so you watch them grow. It's just amazing.
Pretty awesome.
And I can't keep track of all the stuff that's going on here. I can look at the calendars, and I even did the calendars, and I can't keep track. Right?
There's something every week I think that goes on here.
Mm-hmm. I can't even keep track, honestly. But okay. So now this one is. So this is going to get into the stuff of where we met at. Okay. So how was D&L different for you? Being a leader. Stepping into that role of being a leader.
I would definitely say that it changed my perspective on leadership. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the biggest leadership role, but
right. It was still a leadership role.
For sure.
Yeah.
Attending D&L last year and attending D&L this year as a small group leader, two different things. D-Now last year, I was learning, still a new believer in my faith. Still being with my friends throughout the entire weekend. But now as a small group leader, expectations of you are different. Expectations for you to have for others are different. And so it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it.
And you played off of Mr. Brandon well.
Yes. So I was pretty scared actually.
Yeah.
When I found out that I was going to get
He told me that. He was like, "Oh boy, like, I get that." Yeah.
Because of the age similarity, they're not going to want to listen to me. But Mr. Brandon told me that I actually had an advantage because I'm going through things that y'all are going to go through. So that brought me peace the entire weekend.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why I'm so happy with, if anybody had to land the youth pastor role, it'd have been Noah.
Right.
Because, he's already been through those things and can tell us what we should look out for.
100%.
As we're going through high school or middle school, whatever,
Right.
But you did a great job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And for context, he was at my house with my D-Now group. Let me tell you right now, that was something else because we thought we were going to have 11 kids in there. I'm kind of glad it shrunk a little bit so we had more room.
For sure.
My dog would went berserk, trying to figure out 11 people. But we had a blast,
I will say, I had in my opinion, I had the best group of guys for D-Now. Just seeing how interact with each other. Everybody was a little shy Friday night, but just seeing how you open up throughout the weekend. Just seeing how y'all interact. That was the best thing for me.
I think for me it was like if I was ever shy, it was because there's people I don't know in my house.
For sure.
I'm sitting there because most people I didn't know, or at least 2 or 3, maybe 4 I knew, and the rest of them I was just like, I have no idea who these people are. And hopefully next year, Baines will be able to jump in and be in there. Because I'm probably we'll probably do the host home thing again. Yeah. He was probably the reason why we did it, because he wanted to be somewhere where he knew. And I was like, I get that. So, and plus I did too. I was like, because I ain't big on staying at somebody's house that I don't really know, and.
I know last year, when I attended D-Now, I think, I want to say, I know Noah was a small group leader, and it was somebody else. I think it was Will, but I'm not sure. But I had people in my group that I knew, so that felt a lot better.
Yeah, so. It is better that way, And I know me and Daniel were talking about it. He said he wanted to, be a small group leader. Like, if he gets his own place, and I hope he hopes that'll be soon, he wants to be a small group leader. I'm like, dude, you will be like the funnest small group leader ever.
The best ever.
if you can do that.
Right.
So I've said my favorite part of D-Now a pretty good bit when I've talked, but what was your favorite part of it?
My favorite part of D-Now was, I would probably say, just the kids giving their lives to Christ.
That was
because
we had 20 10 I don't know, it was a good amount.
Yeah, it was a good amount. I'll say that really meant more to me than anything, just because knowing that their lives will be changed forever, and that they can be a witness to other people.
And one thing that was great for me is that 'cause on that when they did the first service, right, we were there for both.
Right.
Was I saw somebody that I knew. Like, it was a little girl. I knew, her parents and all that, because my mom would work with her. And at first, I didn't know if it was her, because it's hard to tell because you're sitting at an angle.
For sure.
And you can't really see the TVs right there. So you're like, is that her? And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's her. And I was like, yes. It was like, and I was like freaking out. I was like, yes. Because I was sitting up on the top, But for me, my favorite part was the singing.
Yes.
That was just so cool because, you see that picture afterwards of all of us standing up there.
The entire stage was filled.
And it's just like, oh my gosh, it's filled with kids and young people. This is amazing,
I think that's Pastor Jeff's dream vision of the Northside choir.
Yeah, I mean, and he had that. If he doesn't still have it as his art, or this is
I think it still is.
For Facebook, he had it there, and I did for a bit because I thought it was so cool.
Right.
But it was just and the Bible conference, that was
my favorite.
First week, or no? Was that after that?
Week after
that. Yeah, because there's so much going on. I'm like,
so much.
But that was the week after, and it was 2 great weekends, just back to back. So amazing.
One of my coworkers from my old job gave his life to Christ that the weekend of the Bible conference, and he told me Monday, he was like, my dad told me he had been praying for me, and then I told him I was like, I've been praying for you, and just to see his life now, these past few months has been an amazing thing. So.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, I like this question. I came up with this one for you specifically.
Okay.
So, off the top of your head, what's one thing that you didn't expect God to do, but now you're so glad that he did? Like, maybe whether an event, person you met, something, like it just surprised you. But now you're like, man, that worked out so much better than I thought, or whatever. Is there anything like that?
I'm much more nicer as a Christian.
Yeah.
I have a nicer personality. But also, I had friends before, but they weren't friends that.
And I think that's how most people. That's how it is for most people. I had a friend or two, but like they for me, they made me realize how much I appreciate the ones I have now, and all the people here at Northside. Because once I grab onto somebody, I'm like, I'm not letting go so quick.
Yes, for sure, that's me.
And so, it was like, I really appreciate, everybody here. There's like one or two that I still talk to, but it's becoming less and less. Not because I don't want to, but just because like it's kind of draining a little bit. Right. Like, I'm just sitting there like, nope, I need to go talk to my Northside people. This is draining me. Right. So that's also why I love being here too. Keeps the mind fresh.
I know without a doubt that if I needed to call Daniel Holcomb for something, or if I needed to call one of my other friends for something, that they would be there right there for me.
Sure, you can call me.
Right.
Call any of us, and we will find a way to help you in any shape or form. Right. And that's what's great about Northside is you can call anybody, and it's like, what's up? I could call Pastor Robbie right now, which is weird to say. I've got his number. I could call him right now.
The big boss.
And be like, Pastor Robbie, help me out, man. Let me in the church. I don't have a key.
That's pretty cool.
And I've had to do that a few times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, okay, now we're going to do questions about our, youth and other things like that. And I'm interested to see what you got to say here. Because, you're still a young mind. So,
right. I am.
So, when you look at our youth today, do you see hope? Or are you worried about the future?
Now that I am a believer, I will say that I have a lot. I have a lot of hope. Seeing, now that I've been out of the youth group for about almost a good year, seeing the way that you guys are, your hearts for the Lord, coming to church because you want to, not because your parents are forcing you to.
Yeah.
That gives me a lot of hope, and knowing that you guys have a passion for Christ, and knowing that you guys are sharing Christ, at Lowndes, a very big school with a lot of kids.
It's a lot of kids.
And that brings me a lot of hope. And and then I will say that people in this church, they love investing in our college.
They do.
Our youth, they love investing in us, and that means more to me than anything.
And y'all about to get a coffee shop.
We are.
Which my mom, she was funny. It was so funny. She was like, "Look, they won't turn me away." Well, I'm like, "No, they'll want your money."
We would never.
They would never turn you away. Okay, they would never do that.
Right.
So, that's gonna be fun, and getting to see all that new stuff. And I saw where Noah's office is gonna be. He showed me. He said if I'm still interning with him when they, build that and finish it, he's like, that's where I would be with him right there. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
Ooh, because I'm hoping I can still work something out even though I'm in school, or maybe work something out on the weekends or something. Because I still want to come up here as much as possible and help him. Because I know he needs it and I want to do it.
Yeah.
So, but so, young people and, we both do, face a lot of challenges in this world, at things getting shoved in our face, whatever it may be, whatever. What advice would you give to someone who's finding it hard to navigate, this world in a biblical way? Because it is difficult,
Right. I would definitely say seek the Lord in everything that you do, anything that you are having difficulties with or struggling with. Because, that's first and foremost, He can help you. But secondly, I want to say it's Philippians 4:6-8. Just talking about being, trying not to be anxious and just pray about everything. And that verse brings me a lot of comfort. Just because, we oftentimes, think that, we can do this or that on our own. We don't need the Lord. And then somehow, the Lord, He'll get our attention, and we'll have to, seek Him. And so, but yeah.
Yep. And then, so before I go on this question, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because I just thought of something. So, okay, so you're in the choir. right?
Yes, I am.
So, talk about the experience, being in the choir for a little bit, because I know y'all have so much fun.
We do have a lot. We have a lot of fun. So, it started the week of the crusade.
Well, you jumped straight in.
Yeah. So, it was like an all-sing choir that Wednesday.
Okay.
And my friends were like, "Come on, you should just join." I'm like, "Okay." So I went up there and sung, and I'm not gonna lie, it felt pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think a week or two after that, General Holcomb came into the youth room and was like, if you want to join like youth choir or choir in general, you can.
Yeah.
And so my friends were doing it, so I was like, I might as well do it. And
right.
I'm glad I did it, and it was very fun. And it's still fun, and I enjoy it a lot.
One thing that I love is like the, because when there's the joint services, there's not just the joint services.
Right.
There's the joint choir. Because
sure.
like you have, of course, because I don't see you in, because you're in the 10:30.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I see you in the choir when they do those services. Like I see Drew, Mikey, all of you, which I love watching Mikey.
Oh, for sure.
Have you sat down and watched Mikey in the choir?
Mikey and his dad. They get into it, and I love it.
I love it so much. I watching him, I'm like, go Mikey, yeah. Like, and I've told him that, I'm like, dude, you get so animated, and I love it, like, so much. And then, like, just to see everybody, like, that's in the choir, because you realize how big your choir is.
Yes.
Like, because, of course, the early service, there's not as many people, or there's not as many youth in there, or college, because all of them are in the 10:30. And so it's so cool to see everybody. And I'm like, how do you fit everybody up on stage?
I know, like, oftentimes we'll have, like, a big event at Northside, and we'll have the combined choir.
And you got kids up there, too?
Yeah.
Little kids, yeah.
And then afterwards, Jeff, he'll give us, a report of how many people we had in choir, and then he'll give us his like, future goal of how many people he would like in choir. And so.
How many people does he want?
I don't know. I think one time he said we had, like, 101 in choir. But he said his dream is just to pack the entire stage out. So.
But you have, like, I mean, with instruments, you can't.
He wants to just to grow and grow.
I mean, you're gonna have to. Well, you'd have to remodel the sanctuary again. I mean, good Lord, that's a lot of space.
Right.
But I know that Daniel enjoys it. Everybody enjoys it, and it's funny we were talking about that. He was like, I know he's like, I know I'm a good guitar player, but I don't want to like brag on it or nothing. I'm like, dude, you're good. Like it's.
I don't know if you've ever seen him just like shaking his head.
Oh, you kidding me? I love that.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I love that so much. I even remember before I even met him, and I just saw him in the congregation, like when I was sitting in the congregation. Right. It's like he's jamming. Like I would point him out to my mom. I was like, look, he is jamming. And I actually met him at FCA when him and Pastor Landon came, and Landon did a message, and then Daniel led worship. Right. I actually met him, and it didn't really hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, he's the guy that plays on Sunday. And then I was like, oh yeah. Now I'm working with him,
right.
So it's just like, it's crazy how the Lord works.
For sure.
In a short amount of time, because that's, in retrospect, not that long. That's true. It's about a year, So, you've been in college. What are some things that you have to watch out for, like, when I say watch out for, like, I don't know, that are ungodly, right? What watch out for, and why should youth be watchful of these things as well while in high school,
I would definitely say, after high school, everything like really changed for me. There's a lot more freedom,
right? But with that, there's a lot more responsibility.
For sure, 100%. And so, I would basically say, the godly friends that you have now, keep them, maintain those friendships. I say that because when you get in college, you're gonna meet all kinds of people.
You are,
good and bad, and you're gonna be introduced to all kinds of backgrounds and just different people in general. And so when you have those godly friendships, it's kind of hard to get out of those friendships. And so that sort of keeps me grounded. So and also with that, there's like a lot of loneliness because you're oftentimes doing your work independently.
Yeah. So
like there are days where I'm in the library, in the open library at VSU, doing work by myself. A lot of times I don't see my friends. And so, just a lot of loneliness and stuff like that. But, like I said, seek the Lord, maintain those godly friendships, and also, stay away from the parties and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I haven't done any of that, but just...
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, stay away from all those kinds of things. So.
I mean, shoot, like, I might be here, but if you need, like, a phone call, like, while you're sitting in the library, call me, like...
I got you,
I'll be, because usually around, like, 2, something like that kind of wraps up around here, so... And I'm just maybe chilling, working on a graphic,
Right.
So call me. I'm not, I'm down for it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I know this one's a bit shorter than normal, but you got anything that you want? I mean, you're looking through your notes, so do you have anything else you want to add?
Seems like okay. So you said in our text my role at Northside.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that I have a role, but I would definitely say that serve in every place that you can.
Yeah.
I sing in choir. I'm a greeter on birth Sundays. I was very active in the youth group, and I'm active in the college.
Yeah, you've got a little name tag too.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I like to watch the kids on Friday nights.
Yeah.
Whenever Miss Amber or Miss Judy need me or need volunteers, I'm always there. Go on mission trips. I'm going on my first one in July of this year.
And which one is that going to be?
We're going to Boston.
Boston. Ooh, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. So just to see what the Lord's going to do.
Yeah.
And trying to think, is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Is there anything else that you want to ask me? Or?
Not in the moment, but one thing I've been kind of talking about the mission trip thing a little bit. I've kind of thought about it. However, there's just one little thing, and it's not about the mission itself that scares the crap out of me. Right. I have this VP shunt in the back of my head, and it can malfunction like that. And imagine if I'm 4,000 miles away or somewhere, and it's just like, ugh. So I'm like, I really want to go on one, but like, I'm like a ticking time bomb in the back of my head. Just that's just the funny way to put it. So it's like not so serious sounding, but I'm gonna have to like talk with somebody. Like even if y'all come up with a, I don't know, Savannah trip or something. I know they used to do those, but if they go back and do it, put me on it or something. Like I'll help with the kids or something. Right. Like I'll go, but it's just a little bit like not Honduras or something because like hello.
Right. I know Will said that I want to say that Boston is every year in the summer. Mm-hmm. So I know that you're going to be joining us next year, but talk to him and Boston would be something that we would love to have you go on. I'm very excited about going, and I'm quite sure that you will be. So
that would be something I'd probably be more game for because when it's in the U.S., so it's not
that's one of the reasons I'm going as well. So
so I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I'm not like not speaking the same language over here. Right. Like they're just maybe a little bit different dialects. Which I'd be fine, but. And but I'd love to go back to Savannah though. They need it, definitely. Because I went a couple years ago, like just on a school trip. And have you been to River Street before?
I have not. I've driven through Savannah several times, but I've never been to River Street.
Let me tell you, River Street. That's not a Christian's friend.
I got you.
There's like there's people with like drunk and stuff, and it's just, but they need it, Right, and sure, it's But it's a very interesting place. You'll have people yelling and stuff, and it's just like. But I remember that was the one place that for some reason our school let us have free time.
Oh goodness!
And I'm like, thankfully my mom was able to go on these school trips with me because of like the physical stuff, and it was just like, thank goodness she's here. Right. I wouldn't know what I'm doing. Like it was kind of scary. Like, honestly. But yeah, I'm hoping I can go on a mission trip at some point. I want to.
I would definitely say talk to Noah about it, talk to Will about it, talk to Landon about it. All these great people that work here.
I'll definitely talk to Noah about it. I'm going to see him every day.
Oh, so, true.
And who knows, I might talk to Will about it. I'm recording with him soon.
Yeah.
Yep, and I know he'll enjoy that because right now, as we're recording this, he's on a honeymoon. But
yes, he should be on his way back for tonight.
So. I mean, yeah. So. But I'm so happy for him, and that was a great wedding.
It was a very great.
I had never seen a Northside wedding before.
Neither have I.
So
I've heard about them, but I've.
It was great, and the fact that he had a SpongeBob cake, that is the best thing ever. Yes. Because me and Baines love to reference SpongeBob all the time, and I was just like, he looked at me and he goes, "Charlie," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, Will's got a SpongeBob cake, and I'm like, what? No,
it was very good. I will say it was very good.
Like, no offense, but the SpongeBob cake was better than the.
I got you.
Like it tasting wise, it tasted better. But I think that was like a funfetti cake too, which is the funny part. Uh-huh. Like that tasted better to me. But hey, it's whatever, right?
Right.
I know this was a shorter one, but hey, sometimes those are good too. Right. Because this one right here, people will be able to just listen to real quick.
True.
But hope you enjoyed it, and
I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you for having me, Charlie.
Of course. But do you have anything else you want to add, like words of encouragement, whatever? Anything like that?
Seek out God with all your heart. Seek out your now coworkers. that are your pastors and friends. Seek them out as much as you can.
Yeah.
They give the best encouragement, the best advice. They point you back to scripture. I know Landon's not my youth pastor anymore, but he
still.
I can text him any minute of the day, and he'll answer a question that I have or whatever, stuff like that. So
and I see him every day now, in his office.
Right.
So,
so
yep.
Seek out all of your godly.
And they're amazing people. There's if you come to Northside and you say there's not anybody you can talk to, you are lying.
That's right.
Like, you're just avoiding people because
a lot of people that work here.
There is so many people. Like, I will see people pouring out of here.
Right.
So that's a lie. If you can't find somebody,
there's somebody here willing to talk to you.
Facts.
For sure.
There's somebody. I mean, and I know one thing. Daniel will. Noah will. I will. Anybody will. So, yeah, exactly. But it's been fun,
right.
And we'll have to see where this goes, huh?
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Charlie. I appreciate it.
Of course. And with that, another episode of the Young Minds Podcast comes to a close. Always remember, you are never alone, and faith is action. So let's get out there.